wake up every day and I want to make things. And that's just the way, I guess that's the way I've always been. When I see an art show or like when I go see someone's exhibition or whatever, like it's nice to know that they were in the space working. I always like that. I think it allows a viewer to have a little bit more of a personal experience as well, like with the work, knowing that it was created right there on the spot. I grew up in the Midwest in Milwaukee, and I moved to San Francisco in '97. Kind of to like go there to skateboard on some levels, went there to go to art school, and also was definitely interested in being out there for graffiti. But then I just started getting more into painting murals, and so myself and another artist who actually lives in LA now, his name's Aaron Noble, we used to kind of just go and find walls around San Francisco and kind of just post up and start painting murals and act like we had permission, even if we didn't, and kind of look semi-official, like drop cloth, slatters, you know, whatever.
Let me think. I first met Andrew. He knocked on my door on Clarion Alley in San Francisco, if I'm not mistaken, and introduced himself. And that would have been about 1999. I was at that time the co-director of the Clarion Alley Mural Project, which was a community-based mural project that filled up this one alley in the Mission District in San Francisco with murals. So he came by and introduced me and wanted to do a mural, and I was like, yeah, whatever. And because he was just like one of 100 kids that did that all the time. But he showed me this incredible sketch, this amazingly detailed mural with birds morphing into bottles that morphed into dollar bills, that morphed into elephants and buildings, and then got fed through this machine. I showed his design around to sort of the other people that were players in making those kinds of decisions at that time. And I knew everybody would go for it because it was an exceptional design. And so finally, I said, yeah, okay, go ahead, we got the okay. And he came out and started painting, and he was there every day until it was finished. Incredibly detailed line work, and everybody thought it was an amazing mural, and I think that sort of was the first thing that really established his reputation in the mural scene in the Mission District. The moment that you hit on what your voice is, that you find your voice as an artist, comes to some people early and some people late. And I think it came to Andy pretty early.
I feel very fortunate. I've really managed to like hook up with a lot of people in the art world that are good people, and they believe in what I do. And so for that, I'm real thankful and feel really blessed.
I first saw Andrew's work probably in about 2002. A friend of mine named Jeff Royston, who I went to school with at the San Francisco Art Institute, actually turned me on to him. And he put me in touch with him. I was just, wow, this is cool. And the scale that he had been working. That's when I first found out about him, 2002, and we did a show with him in 2003 with Aaron Noble.
The mural he did at Track 16, which still exists on panels that were taken off the wall in their warehouse, I believe, was an incredible mural. And I have some photos of it here, if you'd like to see them. He's got this same motif of the elephant and the building twisted around each other, but in a really spectacular version. That was a gorgeous passage in that mural. We lived in the gallery while we were installing, and it was like 16, 20 hours a day.
The first step is always developing some kind of a concept that you want the show to be about. Then the second step is figuring out how you want to portray that concept. With this particular show called compound eyes on the world, which is basically a reference to the eyes of an insect. A compound eye is an arthropod eye of an insect, and it's made of miniature eyes that together create the view that the insect has. And the more of them, the image starts to become more clear. So now in the age of technology and the internet, everyone's a journalist and everyone's a blogger and so on and so forth. Everyone's recording this history going on, these compound eyes looking at everything going on in the world and how this changes the way history is going to be written. It's also something that I'm trying to bring into question, is that with all this technological advancements, are we really doing a better job at recording history? It's not creating a more clear picture, it's actually creating more confusion. Some of the paintings in the show are really chaotic, layered, super obsessive compulsive compositions that sort of have an exploding nature or a repetitious nature to them, and from afar they appear almost as abstract paintings, but when you come up close you actually see that there's many different layers and very literal things going on. Brick walls seems to be this reoccurring thing in history, so the main component in the exhibition ended up being a giant brick wall. The whole entire front of it is gold leafed, and to some extent it has a very minimal aesthetic to it, but anybody who knows anything about gold leafing knows that it's a very intricate and hard task, and it's delicate, and so it's obsessive in its own right. So aesthetically the piece feels minimal, but at the same end there's still this very obsessive compulsive intricate aspect to like the gold leafing of all these boxes. And installing the thing you set out to make, you learn all these other ways or possibilities that these things could be presented. I'm going to be having a show at the Archetype Project Space in Los Angeles in December, which will be, I think, a very fun, big installation. I guess when I have bigger, grandiose ideas and seeing those ideas become a physical thing in front of me is pretty rewarding. I guess I'm always just excited to keep moving forward, and I guess the most exciting thing for me to do is bigger, better things. A lot of times that means highly unmarketable things to sell. Those are the things that generally I'm most excited about making installations that are more of an experience than an object for sale.
Well, it's great to see Andrew expand with this tank behind me, which is like phenomenal. More wall painting, little frame pieces over there. It's just seeing his overall body of work just expand over the last couple of years is awesome. And that's kind of what it's about, is like taking these leaps of faith and not keeping this simple, you know, kind of need to expand and do something new every time. So gotta take the risk, you know, it pays off. The guy can't sit still, he's a hard worker, he's super motivated. So you see this is pretty phenomenal, but I guarantee you down the road it's gonna get even bigger.
Well, you may not have noticed, but there's a tank in the room.
Yeah, there's that too.
A military tank, an army tank. So, however much space you have, Andrew, can you fill it up?
This is the first time I've seen him use a tank as an icon.
His work has all the characteristics of a true artist in that there are things that he's just obsessively interested in, and you couldn't say why. And it's a blast watching Andy race around the globe doing these incredible projects. I expect him to continue to rise. That much energy you couldn't hold down.